I actually worked at a daycare before I became a plumber for about 5 years and knew some people in plumbing, jumped on that train and loved it ever since.
My whole Dennistheapprentice channel is all about how to get traction as an apprentice. Part of my effort also is just to help journeymen understand how to deal with the young people that are coming along.
In plumbing, there's something about being able to use your hands, use your head, play with tools and get to create stuff and just get to plumb. And that's the ultimate goal.
You've worked at 3 companies. What 2 or 3 things are they doing right?
You're getting more than just plumbing skills. You're getting life skills. I've learned so much more with life skills, stuff you can't go out and buy.
Hey, I'm super excited to have you watch this next episode of Behind the Windshield with Dennistheapprentice. I was at the Great Northwest Adventure Show in Bellevue, Washington about 2 months ago, and I got a chance to interview Andrew, who is a 3 or 4 year apprentice, had a really good background and some really good insight for apprentices and for journeyman plumbers. So there's something in it for everybody. Stay tuned. I hope you enjoy it. Andrew, welcome to Behind the Windshield with Dennistheapprentice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Andrew, where are you from?
Spokane, Washington.
Spokane, Washington.
Yes, sir.
So what brings you to the Great Northwest show?
Just hanging out with the bosses. Decided to bring me along.
Your bosses brought you.
Yeah.
On a Friday.
Yeah.
You've got some cool bosses.
I do have pretty cool bosses. Yeah.
Awesome. So how long have you been an apprentice?
I'm in my 4th year.
4th year. Okay. Stand just a little bit closer.
A little bit closer. Yeah.
Yeah. 4th year. How did you find the plumbing trade?
I actually worked at a daycare before I became a plumber for about 5 years and wanted to try something new. Wanted to actually get a career and knew some people in plumbing and jumped on that train and loved it ever since.
So you reached out to them, or did they reach out to you?
I reached out to them.
Okay. And did they have an opening for you, or did you have to take some time, or how?
Yeah, we actually started out at a different company. I started out with this, and I've worked for 3 different plumbing shops right now.
Over in the Spokane area?
Over the Spokane area. So I started out with one, met a couple guys, went to another, and now I'm at my permanent location.
Awesome. How do you know it's permanent?
The atmosphere, the family style, just everything that goes along with working where I work. So
Very cool.
It's all family, and it's great.
Everybody's back.
Yep.
One big team kind of thing.
We're not a number. We're a name, which is nice. Even as an apprentice, you feel loved. You just feel at home.
Awesome. So what I do as Dennistheapprentice is, you probably heard out there, a lot of people complain about apprentices. You can't find good young people anymore, that kind of thing. We decided years ago to quit complaining about it and start building our own people.
Yeah.
And then, you know what? Apprentices need teaching. They need to be taught. And some of it's the hard skills of the trade, and some of it's the soft skills of how to get along with people and how to navigate the working world and that kind of thing. And so my whole Dennistheapprentice channel is all about how to get traction as an apprentice.
Yeah.
But you, as an apprentice, you've got a unique perspective.
Oh, yeah.
The other problem in our industry is that once you've got a license, we assume that now you're a plumber and now teach an apprentice, but no one ever taught you that.
Yeah.
So you just treat people how you've been treated.
Oh, yeah.
So sometimes that's good and sometimes that's bad. And if you think about it, teachers and professors, they have a degree in teaching.
Yeah.
But your journeyman doesn't.
Yeah.
So part of my effort also is just to help even journeymen understand these new generation. What generation X, Y? Where are we at?
I'm 28.
You're 28.
Yeah.
So there's some differences in the generations and how we perceive things, and so part of my whole thing is just to help journeymen understand how to deal with the young people that are coming along.
And that's the great thing about my both bosses and my service manager as well, is that even though they were taught up a completely different way, like the early 2000s, like 2010 stuff like that, where it was kind of a more harsher environment. Now it's their main goal is what can we do to make it easier for our apprentices now. Right. They don't need to learn the ways that we learned. Right. Let's make it easy for them. Make it more we want you guys to stay with us.
Right.
So it's amazing.
Awesome. So can you break down 2 or 3 things that they're doing? You've worked at 3 companies. What 2 or 3 things are they doing right as far as with their apprentices?
So we only have about 6 or 7 people that work with us, and I'm the most veteran apprentice, and then we have some 2 greenies that are a little bit younger.
Okay.
The great thing is actually taking the time to go about each job individually. Stuff with the trucks. It's not just like I said, you're not a number. It's not just go do this and
Right.
there's no conversation about it. Everything's conversation. Everything's a teaching. It's not, and the great thing is it's not just plumbing.
Right.
And that's the great thing about, the company that I work for is,
Right.
like I said, it's that family environment. And so you're getting more than just plumbing skills.
Yes.
You're getting life skills.
Yes.
Which is great.
Yes.
And it's teaching those life skills within plumbing. That's you don't get that everywhere.
Right. What money skills? They talk about money management stuff a little bit.
Everything.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good for them.
Like I said,
so cool.
I'll say it again. You're not just a number.
Yeah.
It's, you want help with this, you want help with this, we'll help you with this. It's more than just plumbing.
So, working at other shops, I don't want to name anything.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But at other shops, like, what were they missing? Like, name 2 or 3 things that really gave you a red flag that this might not be the place for me.
One of the big, family, seeing you as that kind of number of, and you're just an apprentice. And that's the kind of thing that,
That word "just" is so discrediting.
you're just an apprentice.
Yeah, give me a break.
And,
You're a precious apprentice.
you don't have that journeyman card yet.
Yeah.
Hearing that, you get down as an apprentice,
Yeah.
and you're just kind of seen as a grunt force worker.
Yeah.
And I get those kind of the ways, as apprentices early started out, but being 2023, it's like, you need apprentices. You kind of have to start seeing apprentices not just as a grunt force worker.
Yeah.
They're trying to learn,
Yeah.
and they're learning from you, so you need to do a little bit more of that.
Yeah. It's a culture you got to develop. Like, we teach our guys that we have a similar culture.
Yeah.
And we teach our guys that these are not apprentices. These are your future team leads.
Yeah.
They're part of your team.
Yeah.
And so we first of all got to figure out if they're going to work out, right?
Yeah.
But if they're going to work out, let's invest all we can into it. One of my sayings is, young people don't lack capacity; they lack teachers.
Yeah.
So let's teach them so by the time they're licensed, they are super smart.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And then and a lot of people, there's a lot of old school guys that are scared about people leaving and starting their own business.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I was just talking to Sean Daly, another contractor. He's like, you want the best competition possible, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because if you don't teach him right, he's not going to know what he's doing. He's going to charge the wrong price, and
Yeah.
he's going to struggle out there.
But I get asked that all the time, because I got 8 months left before I journey out.
Yeah.
And it's, you're going to go start your own thing. It's like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And I love going to work in the morning. I love who I work for. I love the team, the environment, everything. It's when you wake up every morning, you love going to work. Why would you want to leave that?
Right. Let's talk about that just briefly. I think that is there's a lot of questions. Like, have you ever heard of the book, The Emyth?
No.
By Michael Gerber? The Emyth is the myth that because you're good at whatever you do, because you're a good plumber,
Yeah.
you'd be good running a business that does plumbing work.
Yeah.
And he suggests that's 2 different things.
Oh, yeah.
And so, but there's a lot of, he calls it, you have an entrepreneurial seizure. And your friends, your family,
Yeah.
customers say you're going to start your own thing. And you go, well, maybe I should. And you have this entrepreneurial seizure, and you go off and go do something that you have no idea what you're doing.
It's a completely different environment.
Yeah. So how do you know that? How do you see that from your perspective, that that's a completely different thing to do with a plumber?
Kind of, having that smaller shop, you kind of get a little bit of a background. You kind of can see, kind of being a fly on the wall of what the 2 bosses do, and our service manager, being that 4th-year apprentice, kind of have a ear into what's going on, who you talking to, all the contractors. That's a whole completely different side of actually plumbing itself.
Right.
So I'll let them take care of that because they're amazing at that. They're also amazing plumbers. I'll go do the job. I'll go work with the homeowner.
Yeah.
I'll do that type of stuff. I'll let them do that.
Yeah. And if you've recognized that, you'll be far happier doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, yeah.
the money's similar.
Yeah.
It's really not, here's the other thing, it's really not how much you make, it's what you do with what you make.
Yeah.
And I've learned that. I'm 52, so I'm a little bit older, but I've always thought more money was going to change things.
And
That's what you do with the money you got.
Being at 3 different plumbing shops and talking with the different journeymen and apprentices and, money. It's 2023. Everyone's always loved money. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But to me, when I tell people this all the time, even apprentices and people who are talking about getting into the trade, this can't be all about money.
No.
I've learned so much more with life skills and, framing, concrete work, electrical, plumbing. Just life skills in general, stuff you can't go out and buy.
No.
So
You fix up your own house.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I've done that. So
And then make it a rental and go buy another one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you don't need to make the top dollar to do phenomenal.
And the stuff, being that smaller family environment, we get to do more fun stuff.
Right.
You're not seen as another grown force worker. It's all, family dinners, vacations as a work and fun stuff to do. You work hard, play hard.
Yeah, love it. So you've probably seen some apprentices come through in your experience that didn't work out.
Yep.
What just for some apprentices that might be listening to the show,
Yep.
What should you not do, or what should you stop doing, and what should you start doing?
A lot of it's attitude.
Tell me more.
You have to adapt to your environment. If you're not working with one single journeyman and you're switching from journeyman to journeyman daily, you got to adapt to that environment and show that doesn't phase you and that doesn't bother you, because everyone has their own different plumbing style. Not a single, you're not going to find two journeymen that plumb exactly the same way.
I remember being so frustrated because I get lined out on a job, and I'd start doing it that way. The other journeyman would come in and tell me to do something different. I mean, what? And then finally, one guy's like, "Look, there's more than one way to do it. You're going to learn a couple different ways, and then you'll figure out your own way."
Exactly, and that's kind of the first plumbing shop that I worked for. You had your journeyman that you're going to learn your exact way how you want to do it. But being Monday through Friday, it'd be a different journeyman every single day.
Yeah.
And that can kind of get frustrating for a first year apprentice who's like me, coming from a daycare, working with children to what are all these tools? What's this?
Wait, you're not saying you had special skills? Working with children all day.
It comes in handy sometimes in certain situations.
Sure.
But attitude is a huge thing.
So what is a good attitude? What is a bad attitude? Like I really am trying to break it down so people can actually go, okay, I'm doing that or I'm not doing that.
Well, and a lot of attitude comes down to if you're having a bad day, you got to leave it in the truck.
Yes.
You leave your wife in the truck, you leave your mom in the truck, you usually wife in the truck. I work in more service, and I've done new construction as well. You just got to leave everything in the truck. And so if you bring that onto the job site, you bring that into the home. The homeowner sees it, your boss sees it. Even though you might think no one sees it, you always have eyes.
Right.
And you always have to think that is, even if you're by yourself, you always got eyes on you.
Yes. Someone's always watching.
Someone's always watching. Someone's always listening. And you don't have to fake it.
Yeah.
You just gotta, you gotta be yourself.
Yeah. There's this unspoken. You think about it. There's this unspoken work rule that work can be your saving grace. It can be your solitude from the crazy stuff happening in the rest of your life.
Yeah.
If you'll leave that at home or leave it in the truck, work can be your saving grace. Like I've had some guys like, I had one of my office people, her dad just died. And she's like, I'm so glad to come to work and just do my job. It's a break from my reality. I just lost my dad.
Yeah.
And there's this unspoken agreement that leave that stuff at home so we can have a good work and take a break, right?
Oh yeah, and especially in plumbing. There's something about being able to use your hands, use your head, play with tools, and get to create stuff and figure stuff out. And you kind of just forget about time, you forget about outside work, and just get to plumb.
Right.
And that's the ultimate goal.
Absolutely.
Just being able to plumb.
And frankly, that's, for me, I think a lot of the guys are the same way. That's kind of how we process stuff at home anyway.
Yeah.
Go out and that's why we're quiet. We go into our cave
and
we work and talk, and we come home and we figure it out.
Oh yeah, and they both intertwine.
Yeah.
Work life and home life. And especially where I work, it's the same thing.
Right.
My boss, his wife is a teacher, my wife's a teacher.
Awesome.
So it's kind of it's like having a second dad at work and a second mentor.
Awesome.
So it's fantastic.
Awesome. Super. So have you ever been to a trade show before?
No, first one.
Awesome. You've been here just a couple hours.
Yeah, just a couple hours.
Awesome. Dude, I'm so impressed. I was invited to trade shows for years. I never went. I thought I didn't have time. I'm busy making money.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize the network. Even going to the national shows now.
Yeah.
Do you follow anybody on social media?
I follow a couple major.
Who do you follow?
Like for plumbing wise?
Yeah.
So one of the big ones I follow, he works for Viga.
Okay.
And he's called the Viking pipe fitter.
Yeah.
Plumber. Yeah. And he's great. I follow like Odie, Milwaukee, Kohler, Delta. I follow all the big ones. I like seeing all the new stuff coming out.
Yeah.
Stuff that they're just tips and tricks, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Stuff that helps me in the field.
Yeah. It's so cool when you go to a trade show. So go to a national show.
Yeah.
Soak this up. You're gonna see all these new cool tools and I can't believe I thought plumbing was plumbing, but if they just keep up in the game.
And that's kind of the thing is all people are like, oh, so you work with crap all day, so that's what you do. All you do is work with toilets and use a plunger, and it's like, not even a 1% is
Not
that.
even. Hardly ever touch food.
Oh yeah.
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 So you'll go out and you'll see all this stuff, but if you go to a national show, you'll see those guys.
Yep.
Like the first time I go to a national show, I hear this, Dennistheapprentice, and I turn around and this big bearded guy's giving me a hug, and he's like, I watch you every morning. And it's just like, whoa, this is real. And then those people are actually real.
Yeah.
That's who they are. And so you meet these people and you start to build these networks, and then your network just grows and grows. And when you get into trouble someday, you got a network of people. If you DM'd the Viking plumber, he'd probably respond
Probably. Yeah.
with an answer.
Yeah.
Because that's just how it is.
Yeah.
People that are doing that are reaching out and will want to help.
And that's the cool thing about where I work is that, I wear my logo, and it's the, what my bosses have done to set this logo right, and they know who I work for. So the respect level's already there, the hospital level's already there, that they know people work for, and
Awesome.
even going to the wholesale houses like Keller, it's a family there too.
Awesome.
Which is great.
Awesome. Very good. Well, thanks for being on the show.
course.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
You too. Thank you very much. Appreciate
Got
it.
it.